Hello and welcome to this video. My wife has a purple bed, and someone told me, anyway, I heard that those mattresses are supposed to be kept on are supposed to be on a hard surface, not like a box springs. So right now her bed is on the floor. We both have purple beds, but we got them separate and they're just right next to each other because she got one for her back, and then later I was like, that might help my back, and it was pretty helpful actually. But in any case, they're really heavy, so having two makes it a lot easier to move them whenever you have to. So we have our beds on the floor is the point. And she would like hers to be up higher like a normal bed because she's expecting a baby, and it's, as the term goes on further, it'll be easier for her to get up if the bed's not on the floor. So at first, when the baby is born, she'll be upstairs, and I wanted to make a bed frame that was easy to transport, take apart and take upstairs, take apart and bring downstairs. Initially, I was just going to get a sheet of plywood and just cheap 2x4 and screw it together and just make something that works. But then I realized I'm gonna have to take this apart easily, and I don't enjoy trying to remove screws very much. They tend to the head tends to strip, which is annoying. So I have like kind of a lower quality wood than what you might expect for a project like this, but that's because I already had the supplies and I just changed my plan. I don't have clamps to clamp something big like this. So I tried using weight to clamp it. It worked all right for 3 of them, but this one slid. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I wish I could just break it apart somehow, but this is Gorilla Glue. It's usually pretty strong, so I'll have to have a think on this one. So I did leave extra like here and stuff so that I can clean up that rounded over part. I ended up making this wedge, so I'm going to see if I can split the boards apart. So I'm making these are the legs, obviously, and they're going to have grooves going both ways so that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You'll just see it as it comes. And I'm learning as I go and making mistakes and having to clean up after them. I found out why this glue up slipped. Well, I think why. This wasn't flat, and for some reason I didn't think to try to plane them flat before I glued it up. I guess I just didn't worry about it, but whenever I put them back together, you could really tell there was a big rock. So anyway, I planed it out and now it fits a lot better. So as I'm working on this project, I realized that I have done woodworking type stuff for a long time, but never like with a lot of precision, and things seem a lot simpler in my head than they do in real life usually. Part of that is because although you take the 2x4 for example and you assume it's straight, well, often it's not straight, and one side you might assume is flat, and often it's not flat because it's this natural material. But anyway, so I kept bumping into that challenge as I was working. So you can see how these legs are going to work. One beam goes in one direction, and then the other goes the other direction. And then you make a lap joint, I think it would be, to keep those beams in place. And so in this example, my references surfaces aren't plumb. So I'm doing my best to try to approximate where the line needs to be, and I came up with this. I made my own little plumb bob to try to make the vertical lines plumb, because I would try to cut the board square, and that's why at the beginning you saw me cutting a lot of the boards by hand, because I am really bad at cutting precisely with the circular saw that I have, and I'm not tremendously great with a handsaw, but I am better. So I ended up using this, I don't know what this is called, oscillating saw maybe, to try to speed things up. It's another thing that I found as I was working on this project, that in woodworking, it seems to me that like the tools really make a big difference. If you have high quality tools, then the project is easy. I remember seeing like on PBS, this guy Norm Abram, one of the two, he would have the most fancy tools. And now that I'm older, I think, well, the tool did almost all the work for you. And of course, they're so expensive, those tools are. And if I was going to spend all that money, I just would have bought a bed. Because I actually can't remember what the ad was for, what company, but I got the idea for this style of bed from watching an ad for a bed frame. So here's the 4 legs, roughly cut. And then I have to go through each one and fit the 2x4 to each leg, which wasn't too bad. It actually was kind of fun. So this is going to be part 1 of the build, because I don't want the video to get too terribly long. And the second part will be more of some of the finishing, and then other structural components, and then the final setup. So please stay tuned for that. If you're interested in seeing that video, it'll come out a week after this one. And if you'd like to subscribe, then do the post notifications, and you'll definitely be alerted to when it comes out, assuming YouTube does its part. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please consider checking out some of my other videos, and leave me a comment or subscribe if you'd like. I always appreciate a constructive comment, and I do my best to reply to all my comments I get. Well, that's all. Bye.